Tell me the story of the Running Man.
The Running Man.
Well, the Edgar Wright's version of the story with Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Not sure if
So
you saw. Not sure if you noticed my shirt. This is
I did.
Glenn
You love
Powell from
Glenn.
the various Glenn Powell films, but give me the story of the Running Man, starring Glenn Powell, made by Edgar Wright. The remake or the reimagining, because this is based more on the book, the Stephen
Yes.
King book. All right,
All right.
give it to me.
Yeah, Glenn Powell stars as Ben Richards. He's a father. He has a daughter who's very sick, and because he exposed the company he worked for on several occasions for several companies, he is on the blacklist. He can't get work. So the only way he can make money to get the medicine for his daughter is to appear on a game show. And so he's just kind of watching television, marking down game shows. But the one that stands out is The Running Man, where he could win $10 billion, new dollars, if he can survive 30 days of being hunted. And he tells his wife, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. The wife is going to go get a sketchy job in order to pay for medicine. He decides he can't let that happen. He's going to go down to the network and get on one of these game shows. And Josh Brolin plays the executive producer who sees him in line and says, that's our running man. That's the guy who's going to be the running man for the last run of the season. He's also accompanied by Katie O'Brien, who plays, who's also going to be in the Running Man. And then that kid from Saturday Night Live, who's no longer on the show. He's the third one. And those two are going to get killed off right away. Sorry. But the whole movie now is about Glenn wanting to earn money for his daughter so she can live. He enters the game. There's all these rules to it. They give him a little bit of money so he can get costumes and things like that. But he also has to record testimonials, like reality shows, put them in mailboxes, do it once a day, or
he has to do it's like proof of life,
yeah, proof
right?
of life.
Like he has to once a day do a video of where he is and send it into the show.
Yeah. Now, fortunately, he has allies along the way. But that's, you've seen Arnold's version. This is a much more grounded version. There's no military conspiracy going on here. This is a story about class. It's about the rich and the poor, and the rich. It's the Colosseum. The rich watching the poor try to survive. And that's, I'll let you talk about it. But to me, in my mind, was the first Running Man was campy and over the top. This one is campy but dramatic.
And guess what? That's the mistake. It's campy and dramatic, and the tones don't match. Right. I can't believe Edgar Wright directed this. The guy who, if you go back and watch Baby Driver, that movie has heart. It's so expertly directed in the way it portrays the action, the soundtrack, and the music. It's so good. And I love the Edgar Wright's early work, of course, is so good. And this is a mess. And it's this future dystopian world that it's like Timu Minority Report. That's what it felt like. And Glenn Powell's character they spend all this time in the beginning, my sick kid. And you see him with his wife. They just do not seem like a couple. He's super blue collar, working class. And she's like this very beautiful.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Very beautiful woman dressed elegantly as a waitress who, she could go down a dark path to make more money, but she doesn't. And they just do. I don't buy them as a couple. I'm sorry. I just don't. And so much of this movie just didn't work. Coleman Domingo as the host was just, he's no Richard Dawson, I feel like the camp of the first one is a lot like reminiscent of RoboCop in the sense that it's over the top satire. You get it. And this is just the tones don't mix. Just doesn't. In the end, really, and the ending, which we won't talk about. We'll talk about it on Monday on Versus when more people have had a chance to see it. But the ending, just there's so many logic things having to do with the ending, and then also like just with, well, how did this, wait, what?
Yeah.
And Josh Brolin is actually very good as the, show producer. It's kind of over the top evil. He pulls that off. But my God, this film is an utter mess. It's gruesome and comedic, but it's a mix of tones that don't work. Now you can mix tones, right? But I feel like it's overly dramatic here and then satirical and ridiculous. And they might have, there's a really good scene in the beginning where they're doing a psychological profile of Glenn Powell's character, right? Ben Richards. Is that his name?
Yes.
Ben Rich. Yeah. And they give him words. It's like they're playing this word association, and you get to know who he is right off the bat. Why not start the movie there? They have all this backstory. They're poor. Their daughter's sick.
Yeah, you have to build sympathy for 20 minutes.
You build sympathy. It's like, I get it. He's holding a baby. He's holding his baby who he brought to his old work to beg for his job back. I mean, like, just it's like everything was so on the nose. And as soon as they they just spelled everything out, which got annoying. And the side characters, they spend way too much time with the side characters. Like one of the characters has like a YouTube channel. This guy, Bradley Throckman, played by Daniel Ezra, has this, YouTube channel where he exposes the Running Man. Michael Cera also plays this kind of obsessed with the Running Man show, who's trying to help him with weapons. And he's way too gleeful about taking out the hunters. They're just insufferable. Man, just so much of this movie. I couldn't wait for this movie to be over. I could not wait. Even though I really you don't have to convince me to like Glenn Powell or feel sorry for him. I already like him because you cast him. That's why you cast actors like Arnold Schwarzenegger. I like him. I like Stallone. You've already established I like this guy. You don't need to have more sympathy by my baby's dying of cancer. Like, I get it. I just oh my God. It doesn't even feel like, it feels like an Edgar Wright movie where he may have been messed with a lot, or it felt like he didn't care. He had probably so many notes, and the movie is just he does a terrible job world building. I compare this to Sinners. Sinners, there's no comparison between these two movies. The first 10 minutes of Sinners, the world building is so amazing. You get where characters fit in the world, what the world is, what the stakes are. And in this, everything seems forced. And again, like I said, Temu Minority Report. Yeah, I did not like this film at all. I'm very disappointed because I do really enjoy Edgar Wright as a filmmaker, but I feel like this movie feels noted to death. It feels like they recut it a bunch of different ways, and the end result is a mess. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, Okay, so the obvious comparison is to the first one. The first
Right.
one, the reason it worked is because it was an Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle. It
Yes.
was a movie. Yes, it was based on a Stephen King novel, but it was a movie designed and tailored for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
And there was an era in films where we had superstars, movie stars that drew people because they were in the movie. And the first Running Man drew people because Arnold Schwarzenegger was in the movie. And so you bought into the campiness. You bought into just this outrageous story that you're about to see. The issue here is, yeah, Glenn Powell is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, we like him. We feel instant sympathy for him when he appears on screen. But we're it's like Predator, where the first Predator movie was an Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yes.
vehicle. But now it's like, no, there's such gold in the story. In the Running Man, we're going to go back to King's version. In the Predator, who cares about Arnold? We want backstory of what a tough life it is to be a hoocha or whatever they're called. That being said, I understand why people like Predator Badlands, because it has the flashing images, the action, a very thin story behind it. And that's kind of the way I felt about watching this. I didn't hate it like you, but as a film critic, they're two easy movies to review. It's really good movies and really bad movies. And this one just falls right in the center there. Because I could tell you things I like about it. I could tell you things I don't like about it. The things I like about it are those flashing images, the action, the how is he going to pull this off? He's being chased. How is he going to get out of it? You're looking at it as a pure action movie. I think you're going to have fun with this. If you're looking for some kind of depth, if you're looking for some homage, you really love Stephen King, I guess you're going to want to see it. But there's something, but when you compare it to the first movie, it pales in that comparison.
Yeah. It's the first movie
but at
also.
The same time, hold on. But at the same time, if this movie came on television, I'd probably sit down and watch it again. I didn't hate this movie. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I need to rush out of the theater, and I didn't feel like I never want to see this again. But at the same time, we're spending millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars on these movies. You should make me feel a little bit better than that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the original had Arnold and also Richard Dawson.
That was the reason.
His character, Richard Dawson's character in the original, that was built because it was like a farcical, satirical version of who he was on Family Feud.
Yeah, absolutely.
He made the show Family Feud. You tuned in to see him make snarky remarks to the family, and now it's an over-the-top version of that.
And Coleman Domingo didn't give you that in this
Yes,
movie.
he did not. He did not. And so, look, no one is going to remember this version. They will always remember the Arnold version. And the fact that so much money was spent to do this and they couldn't get the world building right, like it didn't work for me. Now, at the screening I went to, which was packed in IMAX, it kind of the ending fell flat with people. And it was a mixed reaction. Some people enjoyed it, to be fair. Some people at the screening I was at, they really enjoyed it. I did not. So I cannot recommend it. And I'm disappointed because I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it. And I really love Edgar Wright as a filmmaker. But wow. He has.
This should have been a great movie, and it's a mediocre movie.
At the end, it's a mediocre movie for me. Cannot recommend. What about you?
Yeah, like I said, there's so much story potential in this in the story, and to just produce a mediocre movie, it gets that bare recommendation. But I like you. I'm disappointed.